Hello, I'm Columbus City Councilman A. Troy Miller. Welcome to this edition of Council Connections. As chair of the Small and Minority Business Development Committee and a small business owner, I am very much aware of challenges small businesses face. Access to capital, marketing, networking, contracting opportunities are all issues business owners must deal with in the crucial first months and years of operation. But businesses in Columbus are not alone. The Columbus City Council is working to address these issues and many more through roundtable discussions and community engagement opportunities. One of the ways City Council works to improve the economic climate in Columbus is to partner with groups that can leverage public and private dollars for job creation efforts. One great partner we have is the Economic and Community Development Institute, or ECDI. Since its founding in 2004, ECDI has worked to develop a wide range of services, from financial literacy to loan programs, to help take a business from a simple dream to a successful reality. ECDI has helped more than 2,000 business owners and created or retained some 4,000 jobs here in Columbus and around Ohio. Their programs and services have been supported by more than $40 million in federal, state, local, and private funds and have proven to create jobs, increase access to assets, and spur local economic development. Here today on Council Connections to talk about the great work ECDI is doing and tell us more about exciting ways that area residents can invest in job creation here in Columbus is Steve Fireman, President of ECDI, and Douglas Craven, Development and Outside Relationship Manager at ECDI. Doug, ECDI is the finalist in the Huffington Post Job Raising Challenge. What is the challenge and how does it fit into the Columbus business community?
The Huffington Job Raising Challenge was put together by Ariana Huffington, Skoll Foundation, CrowdRise, and McKinsey & Company. And the whole mission is to end the job crisis here in America. In November, over 200 nonprofits from 33 states, over 111 cities, entered this competition. From that, in January, they released 75 finalists. Currently, we are the 7th out of 75 finalists in this job raising challenge. Through social media like CrowdRise, Facebook, and blogs on Huffington Post, we are getting our message out as to what we do and how we can solve the job crisis here in Central Ohio. Since ECDI's inception in 2004, we have created 2,000 jobs and 2,000 businesses and 4,000 jobs. Jobs is what we do. So this is how it ties into the mission of ECDI. In addition to that, all the money that people are donating to ECDI will be put into our programs here in Ohio. So a really great opportunity. And we're just urging people to get out and donate. We have fun mini prizes going on right now. If you donate $25 on our CrowdRise page, you are entered to win a $2,000 bike made in Detroit. So it's a pretty fun competition. We're also doing T-shirts for people that donate at certain levels. So lots of fun prizes. And it's important that they can only donate on our CrowdRise site and that donations are through March 1st.
Great, great.
Yeah, and it's just an example of how ECDI, we see ourselves in the community as an aggregator of resources for small business. I mean, everything we do, we have in mind creating jobs and creating businesses. As Doug said, and as we always like to say, a job a day, a business a week since 2004. We were founded in 2004 by Ina Kinney, and I was a founding board member back then, and we actually spun out of another nonprofit. And in that other nonprofit, we were mostly a job training as well as business training and financial literacy division of that other nonprofit. But we saw the need for funding. We knew that you can train, you can give financial literacy, you can help people, but when you lead people to water, what do they need? They need capitalization strategies. So we created ECDI in order to put all the pieces together, or begin to put all the pieces together, which includes education and training, technical assistance, funding, of course, many different funding mechanisms, including IDAs, which are a match savings program. And that program meets people earlier in their financial development and continuum because they might not be loan ready for a business or for the asset that they're trying to achieve. And so we have IDAs, and that comes with a lot of training as well as a lot of hand-holding and technical assistance. Additionally, we have all of our lending programs. We have more than 30 funding sources that we leverage together. And one of the most important funding sources that we've ever had, and kind of got it all going for us, was the City of Columbus's revolving loan fund, which we've had since 2005. And that loan fund helped propel us and has actually become a national model for other city loan funds. But every loan that we do in the City of Columbus has City of Columbus loan money in it.
Great. City Council's 2013 budget amendments actually center a lot around economic development and job creation. Our commitment in supporting small businesses actually is where we supported ECDI in a number of its programs, especially the microloan program. Give us an example of what we mean by the microloans.
Well, the best way to give an example is to actually talk about the businesses. I love to sit here and brag and talk about all the great work ECDI did. The fact that last year we used $125,000 of city money, leveraged it with another $300,000 of our other loan funds to create 15 jobs. So we like to talk about that, but it's better to bring these things to life to talk about actual people and businesses. One such business, which is like one of our stars that we love to talk about, is a business called Easton Home Healthcare. Josephine Talia came to the United States a number of years ago, and she was assetless, didn't have a job, she did have an education. And she leveraged all of ECDI's programs, beginning with training, a matched IDA, and several loans, along with technical assistance, to build Easton Home Healthcare, which now employs 60 contractors. And she's actually putting 3 or 4 kids through college. Wow, is it 4, Doug? So that's a great example. And that's the American dream right there. You can't get better than that.
4 kids through medical school.
Right.
That's right, Doug. Thanks. Another example of some recent deals that we've worked on is one that's called Clean Turn International. And we used city money in that deal and leveraged it with a few other sources. And Clean Turn is truly a triple bottom line social enterprise because it employs reentrants to do work of recycling. They collect recyclables and put stuff back together and sell them, on the secondary market. And Clean Turn, we're real proud of Clean Turn and the job that they're doing, and they're employing a lot of people as well. Another example of a smaller business, everybody loves food trucks. And that food truck, it's called That Food Truck. Yes, that's the name. That Food Truck, yeah. We funded them as well, and they're doing great. And you can see them on the city streets all over town. So city money has been critical, and the really neat thing about the city money is it's a revolving loan fund. So when we lend it to people, and again we leverage it with other dollars, 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 every time we lend city money, but we get paid back, and then we put that money back on the street. ECDI does not own that loan fund. The taxpayers, the City of Columbus owns it, so we have a contract with the city to help create jobs and businesses with that loan fund, and we take that responsibility very seriously. But as I was saying earlier, we've been able to leverage that model and take it to other markets, and we've also been able to explain to other CDFIs, we're what's called a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, how to use local funding in that way. And it's become a very popular mechanism across the country, and a lot of it started here in Columbus.
Great. One of the things as chair of the Small Minority Business Development Committee is I have a lot of individuals come to me saying they're about to start a business, but one of the important things that I ask them is that exactly whether they have a business plan. And you'll be surprised at how many will not have a business plan. Can you explain exactly how ECDI really puts reality into a business plan?
Sure. Well, it all starts with we ask people to come to our information sessions, which occur every Thursday, and it alternates between noon or 6 p.m. So call ECDI at 559-0115, by the way. And you come to an information session and you kind of learn what you're there for. You learn about all our programs and our whole kind of system of getting people down the path to financial security. The first step after that is we'll assign them to a relationship manager who, along with our intake team, will assess them to kind of see where they are, again, in their financial literacy. Do they have an existing business? Have they started it? Do they just have an idea on a napkin? A lot of them start right there. It doesn't matter where you are. Wherever you are, we will meet you, and we have resources to greet you and bring you through the process. Doesn't mean everybody's going to get funded, but it means we have education at appropriate levels for everybody, one-on-one technical assistance and development services for anybody and everybody that's interested in a business. As a matter of fact, I sometimes like to tell people that some of our best work is helping people determine that they're not ready right now before they go into debt, as opposed to deals that we funded. But we always like to talk about the deals we funded. But so initially, people are assessed, and it's a pretty pain-free assessment. It's like taking a test and talking to some of our counselors. And then after assessment, we decide, kind of like a training program for them. And it could include financial literacy, or might be right jumping up to a higher level course such as Get Your Business Up and Running. It's called GUIBAR. And that's the class in which you can really construct a business plan, and we expect you to. And not only do you go to the 4 sessions, they're 3 hours each, usually on Wednesdays or Saturdays, but then you have access to our relationship managers and our training team for several hours of one-on-one to work on your business plan. So out of that, hopefully you will come out of it with a pretty application-ready business plan. And then hopefully at that point, if you decide you want to use our lending resources, we'll introduce you to a relationship manager, otherwise known as a loan officer, who will then take an application and start to collect documentation to submit it to our underwriting department.
That's great. After a business plan is completed and it goes through the process of what ECDI does and vetting that, and this is one of the things I'm very much in support of, is incubators. Incubators is where businesses actually are operating their business in a situation where one of the biggest barriers of business growth is having rent lease space. But incubators provide a space for them where they can have reduced costs in their startup costs in running that business. City Council actually has supported in 2013 budget amendments 4 incubators. One is going to be an ECDI mixed-use incubator, the CCAD Mind Market, the Linden Point of Pride, and also the possibility of a downtown tech accelerator. Explain exactly what's the benefit of being within an incubator.
Well, again, as I said earlier, we see ourselves as an aggregator of resources for small business here in Central Ohio and beyond. The physical incubator, kind of like our Food Fort, which is an incubator for food clients, food-based businesses. The mixed-use incubator will be a residence for people to kind of get their business up and running, and for us to be able to meet with people, whether they need accounting help, marketing help, legal help with social networking. They'll be able to rent some space cheaply, maybe and some of it might be semi-permanent. We also have some space that will be available for businesses that have to hold inventory because we have retail. The sky's kind of the limit because we have a lot of space, but it's going to be a training center. It's going to be incorporated with we're Ohio's only women's business center, which is an award we got from the SBA. And so it's kind of a different way in helping women and teaching women and creating resources for women to start businesses. And that will have space inside our mixed-use incubator as well. Although I'll tell you, those other cool names you just said, we're going to have to think of a better name than ECDI's mixed-use incubator.
Yes,
we can do better than that.
Right. Well, one of the other things that we partner with ECDI on was the Kickstart competition, which Doug spent a lot of his time on, which I'm very proud to say that we had great response from the community. Could you touch upon exactly how that is going?
Absolutely. We're having a great time with Kickstart. We just had an open house on Sunday on South 3rd Street for the 3 bays for people to come see how exactly those 3 spaces would work into their business plan. From that, we've had about a dozen people contact us, say, wait, oh my gosh, I missed my deadline to come look at the space. Can I please come? So people who are interested, please refer to our columbus.gov/Kickstart site. We are going to be adding some additional open houses and at the 3rd Street spaces to allow applicants to come see the space, find out what space would work best for them so they can incorporate it in the business plan, which is due March 1st. In addition to that, we've really seen a lot of people that have existing businesses that have been working from home, great technology-based businesses that, were like, oh my gosh, I've been dying to go downtown, but I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
So it's been really great. We had well over 40 people at Friday's info session at ECDI. From that, we've had more than 50 general applications already sent in to ECDI. And we've had probably about 100, a little more than 100 inquiries. So it's been really great.
Great.
And the awesome thing about that is that we are going to be able to indoctrinate and teach people about all of ECDI's resources. When I spoke to the crowd that was there last Friday, the one thing I told them was, you're not going to all win this contest. But the bottom line is, by you being here today, you kind of did win, because now you learned about a resource, because you all want to start a business, and that's what we do. Our business is to help you start a business and create jobs. And so now that you're here, you've already won, and we can avail all of our resources to you, so please take advantage. That's what I was telling everybody. So we're really excited about hopefully getting a lot of new clients and fresh faces at ECDI as a result of the contest. So thank you for your sponsorship. And I got to also say that Councilman has been such a great advocate for ECDI, and we really appreciate it. And Ina Kinney, who's sick today, or as you know, Ina, she wouldn't miss an opportunity to be sitting here next to you in front of the camera. But she wanted me to say thank you publicly for all of your support and continued support, and just thank you.
Right. This is really passionate for me, because it comes down to where we talked about in the beginning about jobs, and we know that the majority of the new job growth is going to come from small businesses. So Columbus is in a unique situation with its economy of establishing small businesses and also having a customer base. But one of the things that I think is an advantage of the Columbus is to have is the ECDI is vetting these companies to make sure that they're successful. The average length of a small business sometimes is 3 years. I think one of the things with ECDI and what we're showing in Kickstart is that we want to make sure that they're successful by understanding all the resources that's available to them. It's really to let small businesses know that they're not alone. That's very important for small business owners to be aware of.
Right, and we like to think that the real work really starts after we fund a loan. We can get anybody, and anybody with a little bit of work can get a business plan together. But where ECDI really excels and what enables us to do things that banks can't do, and the reason we can lend to some of the underbanked and unbanked populations and have a lot of success with it, are all the development services and post-closing, we call it, technical assistance we provide. We're able to reach out and touch and work with our clients and provide resources, be they accounting, marketing, legal, connect them with bigger businesses. We think a lot of our job is to help grow our businesses. So we don't just have a lender-client relationship. We have a partnership relationship with all of our businesses. And if they'll just let us, and sometimes that's difficult, frankly, because business people are stubborn people and they sometimes think they know it all. And all we ask is, let us in, let us know what's going on. We're going to check in, and all we want to do is help you and help your business proliferate and grow. We do a pretty darn good job if people let us, and that's what ECDI is all about.
Great. One of the things that, as part of City Council, I'm part of the zoning committee, actually the zoning chair, and one of the things that I make small businesses know is that if they're thinking about going in a part of the town, you need to know the zoning laws in order for you to save thousands of dollars to know whether your type of business is zoned for those type of operations. And that right there becomes an educational piece. So the City Council and the other council members have this small business roundtable where we're getting all this information from small business owners to make sure that we're making it more efficient and more streamlined for them to do business within the city of Columbus. So it's that type of information and partnership that City Council has with ECDI to get that information to your individuals so that they can not be really depressed on when they thought that they can have an opening and they didn't pass inspections, or the possibility of there's some building codes that they need to consider. So that's where in the future it's going to be very important that we keep this communication aligned for these small business owners.
Absolutely. And that fits really nicely into something we'll be starting this spring specifically for retail businesses. We're starting a virtual retail incubator that will kind of launch as part of the mixed use incubator, which by the way still needs a better name. Please think of one. And so that will provide some of those resources for zoning and for small businesses, especially retail businesses. So that's a little teaser coming in the spring. So
yes, and that goes in where we want to close with the Kickstart contest. Is that this is our first year doing this, of course, and we're hoping that it will be a great success for this reason. Is because once we have this going this year, the possibility of having something next year in another part of the city, not just for downtown, but look into other communities within the city of Columbus where we can continue to support small business growth by having a contest like this. So it'll be very important as we continue this contest to make sure that as they get up and running is that they keep the communication lines with you and also with the city to make sure that they're successful.
Right.
And that's one thing we do at ECDI is provide the assistance before, during, and after.
Right.
So we're there to walk them through and continue the relationship with them after they're up and running, which is always fun. And I just want to remind everyone that for more information on the Job Raising Challenge, please visit ECDI's Crowd Rising website at www.crowdrise.com/ECDI-JR. And I just want to remind everyone that's interested in Kickstart that applications, a business plan submission is due March 1st to ECDI. All the information is on columbus.gov/Kickstart, and we really are enjoying seeing some of these businesses come contact us.
Yeah,
it's been really
a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
Doug's done a great job. And the last thing I'll say is if you're not the contest type or you just want to hear about ECDI's resources, doors are always open, 8 to 5, 5 days a week. We're open 4 hours on Saturdays. Come and call us at 559-0115. Come visit us at 1655 Old Leonard. ECDI belongs to the people of Central Ohio and the people of Ohio, so please utilize the resource. And thanks again for all your support, Councilman Miller.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.
Doug and Steve from ECDI for joining us today. Until next time, this is Columbus City Councilman A. Troy Miller, Columbus Television, CTV.